Alright, well, I'm coming back out where we just came from, that's behind me. And then this is forward. We're going to go up here to the church that my great-great-grandmother built. And I came back over there where I showed you guys where the monument was. And that's to my right. And this right here is to my left. Alright. And then that road right there, that leads down to the river. That's the river that during the days of picking cotton, they would take the cotton down there. My great-grandmother and my grandmother, when they were sharecroppers, and they picked cotton, they would go down that road there on wooden wagons. And it's pretty much unchanged. And as we go up the hill here, but you always feel a quiet spirit about what God is saying and how special it is to be connected to a legacy. Though my great-grandmother is gone, she left a great legacy with this church, and we're going to look at, particularly if you take a look at that tree there. That tree is over 200 feet tall there. You'd notice it wasn't cleared out or cut when they did the cutting. We'll go take a look. And this is the kind of tree that the timber companies love to have, because if you look down there at the base of it, and maybe you could tell and maybe you can't, it's wide as a truck tire. Let's go all the way up. And it's nothing like a tree that's straight. And that tree, I'm told, is at least a couple 100 years old. And maybe I can get a better angle on it as far as my lighting. What about that? We go all the way up that baby. And one thing about trees is they grow perfectly straight, even though you can't tell from the outside. When they cut them up, they'll make nice poles out of it, like you see right there. See that pole? See that pole right there is what the phone companies love, them kind of poles. And they pay top dollar for them. And so you'll get it out of a tree like that. And those babies right there, I'm showing you now, those will run you about easily $300, a couple of 100 feet over. And then of course when you take these, the other way that you price them is how wide they are at the base. And that right there, I'm not sure if you could tell, but it's over truck tire size. We go over here to this tree right here. This tree is dead. And this is where I set up for a moment. And maybe you can... let's see what we got here. And this tree right here has got holes in it. And you see this hole still got sap in it, which means it's living, but then you got them holes going all the way up. I don't know if you can see it, but that's a hole. But all those multiple holes, those are boll weevils. And I'm going to get a little closer right there. Those are boll weevil holes. And what they're doing is, all them holes that you see there, they're killing the tree. Alright, see, 1, 2, 3, you got 3 of them in the sights all the way up on that nice tree, which is worth, if it wasn't damaged like that, that's easily a couple of $1,000 worth of timber. And because of how wide it is and how tall it is. But what had happened is that when it comes to this tree right here, sorry about all that shaking, this tree right here, what happens is we got to cut this down. Because these weevils, they will get in the other trees in the area. So it's past due for being destroyed, because if you don't destroy this and burn it, right, once you cut it down and burn it, those boll weevils are going to get in the other trees. And as you know, these trees are worth money. And so that's what gives the property, of course, its lifelong legacy value. Because when you cut them down, of course, we ask God, can we cut? And you cut these down, and then of course you replant, and then it replenishes more pines. And you'll see some of those over there coming up that were seedlings. But what you want to do in this God's great earth, you just don't use it up. You know, because in Genesis, God, he told us He would give us all that we need in the land, and all bearing fruits, and so we're grateful for the power of the land. And on my next video, I'm gonna pull up that scripture and go over it with you, where God had promised us in Genesis, as He said, as we take authority, and wherever our feet shall tread, it belongs to us. But again, this is a special day, and all of this has value, because ultimately it becomes what you see right there, and of course furniture.